Hello, I'm Matthew Joseph, and I'm going to talk about how to behave at a visa interview at the U.S. consulate. First, the basics. Remember, a visa is a travel document issued by the U.S. Department of State that allows you to apply for admission to the United States when you arrive at the airport or the border. It does not guarantee admission. First, find out what the specific requirements for the particular visa for which you are applying are. Most U.S. consulates' websites have information about all the available visas to the United States. Sometimes you will not be able to book a visa appointment without prior approval from the Department of Homeland Security. First, be sure to find out if you need a visa at all. Nationals of many countries, especially Western Europe, do not require a visa to travel to the United States for some purposes. This is called the Visa Waiver Program. Also, Canadians usually do not have to have a visa in order to enter the United States. Once you have your appointment scheduled, be sure to arrive at the consulate on time. Sometimes your appointment will be canceled even if you're just a few minutes late. Make sure you don't bring any electronic devices or cell phones or briefcases into the U.S. consulate. Most consulates have very strict rules about what you can bring in for security purposes. Finally, make sure to dress well, especially if you're applying for a professional work visa. You want to look like a professional. Once you go into the consulate, be prepared to wait for a long time before your interview. I suggest you bring a book to keep you busy. Once the officer calls you up to the window to start the interview, make sure you greet the officer and are friendly and courteous towards them. Remember, consular officers have almost absolute discretion to decide whether or not to grant you or deny you a visa. Be sure to have all of your paperwork prepared and bring it with you to the consulate. You need to bring your passport and a Form DS-156. Many times, males of a certain age are also required to fill out a Form DS-157. Very soon, both of these forms will be replaced by a single form, the DS-160. You also need to bring 2 passport photographs, a self-addressed stamped envelope so the consulate can return your passport to you once they've stamped it with the visa, and a receipt to show that you've paid the necessary visa fee. Other materials relevant to your particular visa may be required. Be sure that you're familiar with all of the documents that you need to bring to the interview in order to obtain your visa. Follow the specific instructions on your appointment confirmation or the consulate's website. When the interview begins, be prepared to talk about non-immigrant intent. Many visas cannot be issued to people who intend to come to the United States on a permanent basis. Other visas are so-called dual intent visas. This means that you can obtain the visa even if you do intend to come to the United States permanently. But many officers ask about non-immigrant intent even when interviewing for a dual intent visa, so you should always be prepared to talk about it. If you have a spouse or a significant other in your home country, family or friends, a sick relative or a dog, a car, be prepared to talk about these things. If you haven't finished your university studies, mention that. If you're a member of a club or a religious organization, mention your ties to that organization so that the officer believes you have very good reasons to return to your home country once your stay in the United States has come to an end. Make sure you know all of the specific information relevant to your particular visa. If you're applying for a work visa, be prepared to tell the officer about the company that's sponsoring you, about your coworkers, the job you'll be doing, and the name of your supervisor. If you're coming to the United States for short-term business or pleasure travel, make sure you know where you're staying, whether it's in a hotel or with family or friends. Be able to tell the officer with whom you will be meeting and what you'll be doing. If you're a student coming to the United States, be prepared to talk about your university and what you intend to study. Finally, once the interview is complete, you'll have to leave your passport at the consulate so that they can process the visa and stamp it in your passport and return it to you in the envelope you've provided. Be prepared to wait a few days or even a few weeks, depending upon the consulate, before your visa is issued. Sometimes, if you're very nice to the officer, they may allow you to come back and pick it up in person. If you have questions about your specific type of visa, visit the other sections of our website where you can find videos about the different visa categories. Thank you.